And now, there was a lot of refereeing controversy over the weekend. Burnley's Assignon was sent off on the stroke of half-time, the midfielder's second yellow, and Darren England also gave it as a penalty. Burnley boss Vincent Kompany saw a red card as well. Assignon took to social media after the game to announce his displeasure of the decision. I mean, Andy, look, anybody who has watched football would know that just was not a penalty.
No.
And it certainly wasn't a yellow card. And it beggars belief that a Premier League official can get it so wrong, and that VAR takes no part in putting it right.
No, I totally agree. I was flabbergasted when I saw it, and having watched it a couple of times, Mudrik's touch actually is to the right of where the direction he's actually travelling in, and he feels a little bit of contact on his shoulder, hits the floor, goes down, should never be given. And I sympathise with Vincent Kompany, with everybody connected with Burnley, because that one must have absolutely slaughtered them and felt so devastating at the time. And to their credit, they battled back very bravely and gamely and got themselves a draw. But Jeff, honestly, I said at 6:30 this morning, I said, honestly, I genuinely feel that if you put half a dozen footballers in there and replaced half those guys in the VAR suite, we would make it a lot. When I say we, I'm not talking about myself. I'm just saying I feel people that have played the game know and understand it. People always confuse the rules and the letter of the law, and that's what referees have to apply. Yes, you do. Well, there's no letter of the law you're applying there.
No.
In that decision, because anyone can see in their right mind, say that is not a pen. That is not a pen. And to give the kid a card and then send him off as well, rub salt in the wound, I just amazed. And I honestly feel that if you got some people with some football background playing wise, I think it would help, genuinely, massively help what goes on in that VAR suite.
I mean, hopeless. You wonder what the PGMOL are really doing to try and improve the standards amongst officials this season.
Howard's tried to come out and be quite open, and there's the programme that he does with Michael Owen where they talk over various decisions, and
I'd rather see him spending that time with referees and I'm sure he does, with referees and people in the VAR booth, trying to tell them what's right and what's wrong.
I think the quicker we hear what goes on in there a little bit more, I think the quicker we embrace referees and listening, getting the referees mic'd up, and we can hear the conversations that take place, I think again that will move it into a more responsible arena, definitely.
I mean, Newcastle obviously got 2 penalties against West Ham on
Saturday. I think he's got to be careful, Anthony Gordon, Jeff, I'm being honest. Yeah. I think Vardy used to fish a leg and fall over in the box, and eventually it started to go round and it was coming back. But
Dean Ashton thinks the opposite. He thinks it was just good play.
Dino as a striker says it's good play. Well, I think I thought Anthony Gordon was cute, but again, I wouldn't have given him.
Moyes also wanted a red card, by the way, for Dan Burn in that game. He spoke to talkSPORT after the match and was incredibly unhappy with refereeing decisions over the past few weeks.
The one, I've not seen it again, to be fair, the one where Kudos goes through looked to me as if that Dan Burn nudged him in the back, and if it would have been a red card. So I generally haven't seen it again, so I can't really comment. Maybe I'm wrong in what I'm saying, but my feeling on the touchline was to say there was a chance. Every decision today went against us, or the ones that were important and mattered. That one was important, didn't go our way.
And have you had a chance to speak to the referee?
No point. If you look at what we've had in the last 4 or 5 weeks regarding decisions, we've had our fair share of really, really poor decisions from our point of view.
Let's go talk to a West Ham fan, shall we? Ollie's a West Ham fan. He wants to have his say on the one given against Calvin Phillips. I can tell you, Ollie, that Andy Townsend doesn't think it was a penalty. Dean Ashton did think it was a penalty. I'm inclined to go with Dean. I thought it was a penalty as well. What about you?
Morning, guys.
Morning, Ollie.
Thanks for having me on. The referee didn't even give it when and he was right next to it. He saw it. I mean, what was Phillips meant to do? His foot was already back, ready to kick the ball, and then Gordon got in the way and put his foot in there. So, literally, he didn't even know he was coming in. It was from behind.
Seen that a few times this season, Ollie, in a few games where players do that. They come from the blind side. They put themselves in a position where And my point on it is that I think that Anthony Gordon initiates the contact in that respect. He's not playing the ball. He's not getting in. He's not getting the ball. He's just putting himself in a position where, in that split second, Calvin Phillips is going to make contact with him. I thought he did it very cleverly for the first pen on Soufal. So, look, listen, and again, it's very subjective, and often fans like yourself, Ollie, feel particularly aggrieved by it.
I tell you what, Ollie, I wasn't convinced that the first penalty was a penalty.
It's it looked offside to start off with. We've had so many bad decisions in the last couple of weeks. Look at the Sheffield United, where we got a penalty against us, where the striker elbowed him in the face.
It was nonsense. It was nonsense.
VAR is just literally zapping all of the fun out of football.
Yeah.
Every time a goal goes in, you don't know if to celebrate or not.
Yeah. Look, Ollie,
true.
thank you very much indeed. Very frustrating for you. I completely get that.
Not going away though, Jeff.
It's
ain't
not
going away.
But look, I'll tell you what. First of all, Dominic Calvert-Lewin should definitely have had a penalty for Everton against Bournemouth. Sam Barrett, young referee at that level, he needs the VAR to help him out. Stewart in Liverpool, referees are out of their depth. David Coote was horrific in the Liverpool against Brighton game, so bad we felt embarrassed for him. And there's another one on the same sort of topic, which basically is saying that he took so long. Well, in fact, here it is now. Rob, the Liverpool fan, don't know if any of you guys noticed the refereeing in the Liverpool-Brighton game yesterday, particularly in the first half. It was as if he wasn't making any decisions. There were long pauses before deciding. It looked odd and, frankly, was a bit worrying.
Jeff, what did you make of Anthony Taylor yesterday at the start of the City-Arsenal game? Because there were the decisions or lack of decisions, lack of cards coming out. Lots of people, we've had a few texts this morning saying, look, it's nice that a referee gives a game a chance and he doesn't start brandishing cards left, right and centre. But what I saw yesterday, where in such a tight game as that was, when a City player was making a foul and he was bundling an Arsenal player over to break the game up, to stop any chance of a counter-attack, they're the ones that I think the referee should give a yellow card to. He let everything go yesterday, Anthony Taylor, that first 20 minutes, and I thought a little bit too much. I don't know, did you feel the same way or not?
Maybe. I mean, reluctant to give out yellow cards early doors, aren't you? Because it could lead to reds later in the day, but I do take your point. Mick, the Liverpool fan, VAR, and Deck would do a better job, never mind ex-professionals.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.